All right, we're going to take a look at New Every Morning in the key of D. Now, originally this song was written and performed in the key of E, but we're transposing it down a whole step so that some of our vocalists can actually hit some of the notes. It's actually a pretty high song for a guy to lead. So first I want to start out with the introduction. The intro is actually not written in the chord chart, but that's fine. It's actually a really similar progression to what we would see in the interlude, which is on the chord chart. But anyway, it starts on G, and we're doing a low G on our E string, so it's 3rd fret on the E string. And just kind of a heads up, this song is there's a lot of 8th note patterns played in this song. So, man, you're just going to have to build some endurance in your right hand and try not to push too hard, just so that you don't make your hand tired. So try to make it really relaxed. That way you can kind of play through the song and keep that momentum. Okay, so anyway, the intro starts on a G. Then we go to a G, to an A, which would be the 5th fret of E string. And then I go to this B right here on the A string, it's 2nd fret. Okay, and then they're going to do a really quick hammer on from C sharp to D. And you'll hear that quite a bit in the guitar part. We do it a few times playing bass, but you'll hear that little hammer on a lot in the guitar part, in the interlude, and in the verses. But anyway, so the introduction again, G, A. Okay, so then it goes B, C sharp to D. Okay, and so that's just a build. You can listen to the guitar players. They're doing kind of this palm muted thing, and they're accenting on where the vocals sing. They're singing this oh, 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 oh. So the guitar player is actually going, they're accenting where those O's are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so again, just listen to the guitar players and the vocalists to try to get the rhythm of the changes. Next, we actually play the interlude, which is a really similar progression as the intro, but the interlude has a couple of things that are different. So in between going from G to A, we're going to play an F sharp. So they use F sharp kind of as a transition note between the major notes in the progression. So the first part would go, okay, and actually I don't play this A, I play an open A here because of what has to come next. It's just easier to get to if I play the open A. So it looks like this. Okay, and then after we play A, we're going to hit a B, and we're going to hammer on to C sharp. And actually it's not a hammer on, I'm plucking all of the notes. Okay. Okay, so it's 2nd fret to 4th fret on the A string. Okay, and then after that C sharp, we're going to go to an open A. And then in the intro, we'd be landing on a B, but we're going to go F sharp to B. And then we do this little hammer on. Okay, C sharp to D. Okay, so that's the interlude. Do that one more time slowly. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and that's as long as we'll ever play the interlude. It doesn't repeat more than that. All right, and then there's a little riff that they do in the intro. Sorry, not in the intro, in the verse. So this little hammer-on, that takes us into the verse. And like I said before, you're going to hear that a lot in the guitar part. So we actually play part of that guitar part with the guitar players. Okay, and that's the only time we ever play that is when we're coming into the verse. All right, so that little walk up is C sharp to D, and I'm playing all this on my A string, so it's 4th fret to 5th fret. Then we're going to play an E on 7th fret. Then we're going to play an F sharp on the 9th fret. And then we come back to C sharp and do that hammer on. Okay, and all of the notes are short except for that F sharp. Okay, F sharp is the only thing we hold, and I kind of like to slide down before we hit that hammer on. All right, and then when we come into the verse, when we're actually playing the verse with the rest of the band, all we're playing is a D on an 8th note pattern. And so that's for 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so D for 2 measures on 8th notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And then we do this little lick. So we're starting on an A, and so it goes back and forth between A and B. Then it ends on a G. And so it's kind of like a 3-note pattern against that 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And if you listen to the track closely, you can actually hear there's an electric guitar player that's playing that part with you. So you're not on your own. And it doesn't really give you a whole lot of freedom to just do whatever you want. You kind of have to play it as is, because you're going to have another person playing that exact part with you. So again, here's what the verse sounds like. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then because the last note is a G of that pattern, and the first note of the pre-chorus is also a G, the last time we play that little riff before going into the pre-chorus, instead of playing a G, we're going to play an A. So the last time would sound like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that we can land on that G for the pre-chorus. Okay, pre-chorus is pretty easy. You just play a G, then play an A. It's just a build to get us into the chorus. The chorus is pretty easy too. We're just playing quarter notes, and then quarter notes really just on the D and the B minor. And then the E and the G are kind of used as transition notes. So the chorus sounds like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty easy. The progression is pretty consistent, but there is a part on the second line of that chorus. If you look at the end of it, it says the lyrics are whoa, 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 whoa. And they go A to B minor, A to B minor. And I'm sorry, that's actually B minor to A. And so that's how we're playing it, B to A. On each one of those whoa, whoa. Okay. And then at the end of the chorus, they do this that little rhythm just to take us back into the interlude. So here's the chorus, full chorus going into the interlude. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then you know the interlude. All right. So I just want to point out, I'm just kind of teaching the parts. You're really going to have to use your ears to hear when the bass does and doesn't play, because you're not just playing through the entire song. There are parts where you just kind of step out and let the guitars and the drums kind of carry things for a little bit. And then there's other times where you come in and you're playing really strong. So go back to the beginning of the video to kind of see when the bass should and shouldn't play, because the parts that you don't play are actually just as important as the parts that you do. Okay. So then our next part that we have to play is the bridge. The bridge is really simple. It's just 4 notes: G, D, A, E. And I play an open E just because, or I'll kind of switch it up. I can play this E or go to an open E depending on what kind of feel I want to get out of that particular part. And the bridge kind of starts quiet and it kind of gradually builds up to a chorus where the drums are going to play solo. So there's kind of this progression. So anyway, playing those notes, this is the rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And you can, if you watched the way I played it, I was kind of all over the place doing different things. That is kind of a fun part because there is quite a bit of room where you can actually add little bass lines and kind of little licks and stuff here and there. It's a really nice part of the song where there's space to kind of express yourself. Okay, so nothing's different once we go back into the chorus. It's played exactly the same. The outro is the same as the interlude. Okay. The only part that is a little different is at the very end of the outro, we play what the guitars play during the verse, and we're going to play it with them. Okay, and that's as far as we go. And then we end on a G. So the G is actually the 4 chord in this progression. So it doesn't resolve on the 1, which would be a D. Kind of leaves us hanging, partially resolving on that G, the 4 chord. All right, so again, so the outro altogether would be an interlude with that little tag that sounds like the verse that the guitars play. So I'll play the whole outro. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's all of the parts for bass for New Every Morning. Again, we're playing it in D, even though originally it was in the key of E. But I hope you have fun playing this song. Until next time, just keep practicing. All right, thanks.